Decision 2016 is less than a week away. NBC 26 is sitting down with the candidates. Yesterday, we heard from U.S. Senate candidate Russ Feingold, and tonight, Republican incumbent Senator Ron Johnson shares his vision with NBC 26's Marissa DiCandido.
As chairman of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, where do you stand on defeating ISIS? What do you think is the course of action to take in this fight?
Well, we have to defeat it. Now, the way you do it is you lead. You lead and you assemble and lead a committed coalition of the willing. And I was the U.S. representative of the United Nations General Assembly for the second time this year. And so I was in New York in September, and I was meeting with delegations from the Middle East. And to a delegation, they were asking for greater, stronger American leadership. They'll provide the majority of the boots on the ground. They have to, to not only recapture the territory, but then to hold it. But they need American leadership. Because we've left them in place so long, because they've trained so many operatives, we are going to see a spreading of terrorists unlike we've ever seen in human history. So this is incredibly dangerous. We have not led anywhere nearly as strongly as we should, and so we have to do that. We have to establish, or we have to actually accomplish President Obama's goal, and it's defeat ISIS. The sooner the better. What
do you think can be done to help bring manufacturing jobs back into Wisconsin, seeing that we've lost so many in recent years?
I understand how hard business is. I understand what it takes to have businesses take the risk to expand their business and create the good paying jobs, and it gets back to that regulatory burden. I was talking to one Wisconsin paper manufacturer. They did a cost calculation on just 4 regulations. Cost that Wisconsin paper manufacturer the equivalent of $12,000 per year per employee. That's dollars out of organizations, out of businesses that are not available for raising your wage, your benefits. So if you want to end the wage stagflation, reduce that regulatory burden, then businesses have the resources to grow and provide better pay and better benefits.
You've said that you want to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. My question is, with the act, are there things that you would want to keep in place, and what would your health care plan look like?
Well, first of all, let's review what a disaster Obamacare has been. There were 3 main promises made. If you like your health care plan, you can keep it, period. If you like your doctor, you can keep him, period. And President Obama and Senator Feingold both promised that premiums would actually be reduced. None of those promises have been kept. Senator Feingold said he knew exactly what was in the bill. Well, what was in the bill eliminated, for example, high-risk pools. So that was a minimum 20,000 Wisconsinites that the law basically said would lose their high-risk pool insurance. So again, in massive fraud, people have lost access to doctors they know and trust because the networks have narrowed. I competed in business. I would love to have been a monopolist, but because I had to compete, my prices were lower, my quality was higher, so was my customer service. That's what a free market does. Re-inject those free market disciplines back into health care, and you might actually accomplish some of those goals. And the way you do it is you put the states in charge of the definition of insurance and regulating the insurance market. You allow individuals to purchase insurance across state lines. They'll have more competition in terms of health insurance companies, but they'll also be able to decide which state potentially has lower mandated coverages that also produces lower premiums. We didn't have to completely remake the insurance market, remake the health care provider market to take care of those individuals that didn't have health care. We could have done this a whole lot with far less disruption at a whole lot lower cost to American taxpayers.
And be sure to tune in on election night for a special 1-hour edition of NBC 26 Live at 6.